Hi, I'm Heather from Sew Me How, and today I'm going to show you how to make a face mask or a face covering. So it's got elasticated loops, or you can make it longer so that you can tie it behind your head, but we'll make it with elasticated loops today. It's pleated so that when you put it on it expands and it will cover, there you go, covers your nose and your mouth and comes under your chin. But it has a filter pocket on the back. So it has a little pocket on the back of it, which means that you can wash the mask, you can keep it clean, and you just dispose the filter, and each time you use it you put a new filter in. So this is it, face mask. This is what we're going to make today. So you need 3 pieces of fabric. So the first piece will be for the front of the mask, and that is going to be 7.5 inches tall by 9.5 inches long. So 7.5 inches tall by 9.5 inches long. And that's for the front of the face mask. And then you need 2 pieces for the back of the face mask that's going to create the pocket, and they are 5.25 inches tall and 7.25 inches long. So that's 5.25 inches tall and 7.25 inches long. Okay, so you want to cut out 2 pieces for the back of the mask and 1 piece for the front of the mask. So we've got our mask pieces cut already. So I've got 2 back pieces and 1 front piece. And the first thing that we need to do is on each of the back pieces. So on one of the long sides, only on one of them, you don't need to do it on both long sides, but only on one of them, we're going to turn our fabric over 1/4 inch and press it with the iron, and then another 1/4 inch and press it with the iron again. And then we're going to do the same thing on the second back piece. We're going to turn it over 1/4 inch and press it, and turn it over 1/4 inch and press it. Okay, so we're going to turn this over 1/4 inch, we're going to press it, and then we're going to turn this over again another 1/4 inch and press it again. Okay, then what we're going to do next is we're just going to do a straight stitch, and we're going to sew along this top edge of the back piece of our mask, the edge that we folded over, just on a straight stitch. We're going to lock in our stitches at the beginning, so we're going to do forwards and backwards, a couple of stitches forward, a couple of stitches backwards, so all the way down to the end, and again lock in our stitches at the bottom, a few stitches forward, a few stitches backwards. We're just going to use an ordinary straight stitch. Okay, so we've now got a nice sewn edge there, and we're going to repeat the procedure on the second piece. Okay, so we've got our 2 back pieces, and each piece has got one side turned over and stitched, just so that we've got a nice hem, because that's going to be the opening for our filter pocket. Okay, so we've got our 2 back pieces with one side folded over and stitched, same on that one, and we've got our front piece. So we're going to lay our front piece down, facing up, the fabric facing up towards us, and we're going to take one of our back pieces and we're going to lay it face down, so right side to right side of the fabric, or nice to nice, whichever you want to call it, and we're going to place it in the centre. So you should have about 1 inch either side of spare fabric on your top piece. Now the rough edge that we haven't sewn is going to be placed here along the bottom, and the nice edge with the hem that we've sewn is going to be placed here at the top. We're going to repeat the same procedure now with the second back piece. So face down, so right side to right side on the fabric, the rough edge at the top here, the nice hemmed piece is going to overlap this bottom piece of the back. Okay, and then once those are in place, I like to clip them in place rather than use pins. I don't really want to be putting any holes in the fabric if I'm going to be using it as a mask afterwards. So I tend to use quilting clips. If you've not got quilting clips, you can use stationary bulldogs, or you can even use household clothes pegs. Okay, so I'm just going to clip these in place. And then I'm going to take it back to the machine, and I'm going to sew these two pieces together. So I'm going to sew about 1/4 of an inch in, 1/4 of an inch down, right from the very edge of the front piece and all the way along over that piece and to the edge again of the front piece to join these two pieces together. And then I'm going to repeat the procedure on this bit here. So sew about 1/4 of an inch up, right from the end of the front piece of the face mask all the way along to this end. So we're going to use a straight stitch again, and we're going to lock in our stitches, so forward and backwards, and then sew all the way along to the end and lock in our stitches again, and repeat that for the other side. So again, 1/4 of an inch down, lock in our stitches, just an ordinary straight stitch. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to trim any tails that I've got. And then I'm going to have to go back to the ironing board. Because we're now going to press this. So if we press the seams, okay, and then we're going to fold this one over, and we want the join, our seam, to be right on the edge, okay, and then we're going to press that. And again, seams on the edge, and press it. Oh. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is going to use the iron again, and we're going to press and fold these small short edges of the front of the face mask. So the first fold we're going to do is only about 1/4 of an inch. Don't go any more than that, because you'll start eating into your fabric that we want to use to create our channel to put our elastic through. So turn it over 1/4 of an inch and press, and again on this side turn it over 1/4 of an inch and press. Okay, and then we're going to fold it over again, but this time we're going to fold it right over, so it's going over a good 3/4 of an inch now, and you're going to press it. So basically where the edge of this fabric is, of the back of the face masks, is where we're going to be folding over our channel. Okay, so fold and press, and then same on the other side, fold and press. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to take 2 pieces of elastic. So I've cut my elastic 14 inches for each piece, and these will be tied together. They'll go through here, they'll tie together, and they'll create the loops that go behind the ears. Now if you didn't want to do a mask that where the loops went behind your ears, you could use ribbon, you could use a string, you could use anything really, and you could make it a lot longer, and then you could tie it behind your head if you wanted to. Okay, so I'm just going to unfold this side here, and I'm going to pop in the elastic, and I want to put it right up against the fold, and then I'm going to fold this fabric back over, and then again here on this side I'm going to put the elastic in right up to the fold, and I'm going to fold the fabric over it. Okay, and then what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to pop a few clips on to keep the elastic in place so that it doesn't move when I'm sewing it. And we're going to sew really close to the edge of this channel now. We don't want to sew too far into the channel because that'll we're at risk then of catching our elastic. So close to the edge of the channel, we're just going to sew all the way down that side and all the way down that side. Sorry, I think you can hear my iron steaming in the background. So again, straight stitch, locking in our stitches, so forward and backwards at the beginning. All the way down to the end. And locking in the stitches again, so forward and backwards at the end. Okay, that's that side done. And then we're going to do the same on this side. So forward and backwards to lock in our stitches. And then all the way down. And forward and backwards again at the end. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create these pleats. So these pleats that we've got in the mask, we're going to create them now. So you'll need 6 clips. We're going to create 3 pleats. So make sure you got your mask the right way up. So you want the filter pocket piece that goes over being at the top of the mask. And then you're going to fold down your fabric, just create a little pleat, and we're going to clip that in place. Okay. These are a little bit fiddly, but we've folded it over to create a bit of a pleat, just like that. And then clip it in place. And we're going to do the same again. So fold it over, create a pleat, and clip it in place. Same on the other side. And then one last time, fold it over, create a pleat, and clip it in place. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew back over the line that we've just sewn. There you can see the line of stitching. I'm just going to sew over that again, and that will keep the pleats in place on both sides. So again, locking in the stitches at the beginning, so forward and backwards, and then just keep going over the pleats to the end, forward and backwards to lock in. And repeat on the other side. Okay, so forward and backwards to lock in. Oh, I went a bit wild there. And then keep going over all your pleats. There we go, and lock in at the end again. And that's it. Your mask is complete. So I'm just going to trim all the tails again. Now this elastic looks quite short because it's all pleated on the inside of the mask, but when you pull it, let's just get rid of these tails. Oh, 2 more there. Okay, so when you pull the elastic, it will come a bit longer because it's in the pleats inside there. Okay, so then what you can do then is you can then put it on, try it, and tie the elastic to the right length that you want it. The only thing that I found with elastic is once you've tied a knot in it, that's it, you can't get the knot out, so make sure you tie it in the right place first off. Okay, so there's our completed mask that we can wear. It will extend and go over your nose and your chin, and then clip behind your ears. So there you go. Go forth and make loads of masks. Thanks.